Hey guys, Chef here with Ghost Knight Gaming, and we are back with another From Console to Screen. This time we are taking a look at the Warcraft movie, a solid mix of digital and live-action actors that came out in the 2000s. And we're going to take a look at all the usual things that we take a look at. We're going to look at the story, the costumes, the visual effects, and the accuracy and fun, and we're going to give it a final score and take a look at it and see whether it lives up to the rest of the franchise and all of the hype that was surrounding it when it actually initially came out. So first up, we're going to take a look at the story. So the story of the Warcraft movie is actually preludes and covers over the story timeline of the first Warcraft game. So when the orcs initially come to Azeroth and the initial conflict there. So the original Warcraft is tagged Orcs and Humans, and well, this one features a lot of that. The story follows notable characters, Medivh, Lothar, Khadgar, several of the members of the various orc factions, Gul'dan, Doomhammer, uh, you know, and Durotan from the various orc tribes, and what happens when they go through the Dark Portal initially in their first foray into the realms of Azeroth. So the story itself is actually fairly concise. It actually does a really good job of telling a straightforward story. I found the story was really good, really well paced. I really enjoyed how it went through. You know, there was a lot of good elements, good mix of action and story moments, a lot of really good characterization. Honestly, the orcs are probably best characterized here, almost better than they were in Warcraft 3, where they tried to characterize them more with Thrall's storyline, of which we also get to see the prelude to Thrall, because we meet his parents, Durotan and Groka, just after he was born, on their passing into the realm of Azeroth, and it's actually really cool seeing the way, like, the stuff that happened preluding to it. Now the story has some changes, and there's some kind of interesting moments, but everything that it tells the story, it's constant. It keeps the story moving, it keeps the pace flowing. There's a couple of little moments, but you know, everything tells a decently solid story. I really enjoyed how they progressed through. So looking at that story, I don't want to get too deep into it. If you've played the Warcraft storyline, you kind of already know what's happening. But somebody not familiar with it can enjoy this movie separately as its own self-included story with setup for sequel. It tells the interesting story. The bit with Garona, I think is her name. Yeah, Garona. Is actually interesting, kind of weird, but they heavily imply, and there's a bit of a spoiler here, I think they heavily imply that she is actually the child of an orc woman and Medivh, though they don't really go into it too much more, and it's only a small thing that kind of gets brought up. Medivh's part plays well. Actually, the acting in the movie is very well done on all sides, from the humans to the orcs, and I really enjoyed the whole thing. So, looking at the story, I'm going to give the story an A, because I actually really enjoyed it, and it paced well. It tells a good story. You know, it's no grand, super epic, but it tells a solid story that somebody that plays the game and doesn't could actually enjoy, at least from what I can look at. Okay, so next up is the costumes. So this movie has a fair mix of CG and actual acting, and I'll tell you now, honestly, looking from far away, looking up close, the costuming is on point. I'm going to give huge props to the costuming department. They did a great job on everything from the looks to the orcs to the different characters within the Human Alliance and some of the others, the dwarves, the elves. Everyone actually looks really good. I really like the costume design on this. It's all very good. There's a lot of very recognizable costuming as well, in addition to it. Like the humans, like you could take the sprites from the early Warcraft games and be like, yeah, that's what they look like. And they totally look the right way, the right designs, decals, all of that kind of stuff. Honestly, costuming in this is amazing. And I'm going to give costuming an S. This is really good work, and I really liked it. I found that a lot of it was really great, and I'll get into the visual and combat effects shortly, but yeah, it all works really well together, honestly. Okay, the next thing we're going to take a look at is the visual and special effects. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's a lot of visual effects, and honestly, they're great. Like this is high tier visual effects going on here. The special effects don't look cheesy. They look natural for the setting. I'll tell you now, the creature design is amazing. Watch the griffins and the wolves, and oh my goodness, they are amazing. Their movement is great. They look really good. I have no complaints with it. You know, Khadgar polymorphs somebody, and it's perfect. It's great. The effects for the different characters, the makeup for any of the more human-like characters, so like Garona with her mix of human and orc, actually works really well. You know, it gives the orcs a good look. Like the effects for the orcs look big. They look mean. The females look actually great. Like Groka looks great. Very good, very good. And on top of the visualization and the characterization from the actors, and the combination of the really good costuming, this is a spectacle to behold. This is impressive to look at. Honestly, every part of it is like super impressive, and just on special effects alone, this is great. So our score for special effects, I can't stop gushing about it. It's an S. This is really great effect work. Honestly, you know, this is what we can have, and it looks great. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the accuracy. Accuracy for this one, it's actually pretty close. I mean, if you are unfamiliar with the Warcraft franchise, you're actually okay. Just go watch this movie and you'll be great. But for accuracy-wise, there are some changes. Don't get me wrong, there are some changes. Like Garona is a new factor kind of thing. How certain interactions within the clans is a little bit different, like who kills Doomfist or whatever his name is now. I can't think of his name now. You know, the lead up to Doomhammer taking charge of the whole Horde works out well. You know, just how the orcs and the humans feel is great. You know, the political struggle from the Alliance makes sense, because obviously they don't actually come together and ally until the second game. So there we go. Even that's pretty accurate. There's some stuff I'd have to dig deeper to really nitpick. And like I said, there are some variants and changes. It leads up to Thrall really well. Like, it's accurate to the fact that Thrall is the son of Duratan, which is an accurate thing. You know, they even have the Draenei as something that the Gul'dan is using as fuel to open the portal, which, I mean, the Draenei are a thing in there, so they don't leave them out to tell their story. Gul'dan being a jerk, well, that's right on point. And there's a bit of stuff that may be some other elements that they missed, but, you know, enough of it is recognizable. Honestly, I'm sitting here going, yeah, these are the events, these are the events, these are the events. You know, some of it is different because this is a movie, not missions being played during the original Warcraft, so the fight against Medivh is different, at least a little bit, by comparison. I don't know if Khadgar actually shows up in the original game. I'd have to go back and look at that. But, you know, setting up for Khadgar to do great things later on is all pretty good. So as a whole, I'm going to give the accuracy an A. There's enough on point there, and the look, the feel of the orcs and humans, that is there. It's totally on point, and I really enjoy it. Before we get to our final score, let's take a look at the fun. Honestly, this is a fun movie. I don't know what anybody else is saying. I don't know all these people that are naysaying the Warcraft movie, but this is a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. It was thoroughly entertaining. You know, there was plenty of action. It's great high fantasy. If you want a high fantasy film, magic and monsters and, you know, all this kind of stuff, it's got it. It tells a fun story. The characters are interesting. I mean, whether it's orc or human, the characters are interesting. And this is integral to it being fun. You know, it's got enough of that serious tone that Warcraft has kind of always had, but it's also got a bit of that humor that Warcraft has always had. I mean, you polymorph the guy in the dungeon, and it is hilarious. But also, it's something you can do in the game. So, you know, it's really fun, and I really enjoy that. So, honestly, I'm going to give the fun an A. It's a really fun experience. I really enjoyed it, and I think everybody should check it out. Okay, so we've looked at everything. We've figured all it out. It's time to get the final score. Warcraft was an interesting movie. It kind of came at a low point for a lot of stuff coming out, because there was kind of like, oh, this movie's coming out, this movie's coming out, this movie's coming out, and it kind of flew under the radar for a lot of people, I think. I didn't actually hear about it until after, and I could only actually have picked it up on DVD and watched it there. But I totally would have seen this in theaters. So let's take a look at that final score and rank this one. And I'm going to give Warcraft an A. This is an excellent movie. I actually really don't understand how other Warcraft fans cannot enjoy this. You know, I'm certain there's some going, well, it's not accurate to the story. World of Warcraft is not accurate to the story. I'll tell you that much. So if that's what you're using as your basis, it throws a whole bunch of stuff out the window. This one doesn't. There's actually very little that it messes with to throw off the story, and it tells a great story. It's an epic fantasy adventure, and honestly, whether you're a Warcraft fan or not, you can enjoy this movie, and I think a lot more people should. So, if you want my opinion, check this movie out, and if you want to check it out with me, I watch a whole lot of these videos over on my Discord, so you're going to want to join that. There will be links down below. Check out my other social media. Give me a like. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you thought of the movie. Maybe give your rankings of it. See what you thought of it. And check out my other videos that I've got. I'm reviewing a ton of other video game movies, and we've got so many more coming. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. Have fun. Keep gaming. And I will see you guys again next time.